Hello, hello, and welcome back to Siah be Chattin podcast. Thank you. And welcome back to my channel, y'all. Hey, y'all. Not y'all back. Not y'all back in action. You see, y'all that stayed throughout 7 episodes is crazy. It's crazy, and I'm hella grateful. So, like y'all know how I get down. Welcome back to Siah be Chattin podcast. If you guys don't know me, if you guys are new here, my name is Messiah Dixon. I am a social media creator on across all platforms. Messiah Dixon with two N's, not one. You know what I mean? And I hope you're doing good. And those who is new or not new, y'all know, welcome back. Make sure y'all get y'all some food, some fried fish, some mac and cheese, and some broccoli. And we gonna get to chatting, y'all. Y'all know how we get down. A little update on me. Things have been going really good. I just been really into like my work. Like I just feel like there's been this little shift. I don't know if it's just me, chat, but like I just feel like there's been this shift. You know what I mean? A shift in energy, shift in self awareness, shift in growth, spiritually at least, blah 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 blah. Spiritually, you know what I mean? And I don't know. I feel like I'm just kind of on a grind. I'm on the go right now. You know what I mean? So I have been reading The Artist's Way. I am on week 9. Well, by the time this is posted, it's going to be week 9. And if you guys don't know what The Artist's Way is, it's basically like I think it's 12 weeks. It's a 12-week course of kind of just tapping into your artistic sense, I guess you can say. Just getting to understand your creativity, your energy, and your passion and stuff, and like really just doing the exercises to get more in touch with who you are as a person when it comes to your path and what you're meant to do in life and stuff. And I'm on week 9, and I don't know, something about week 8 really resonated with me. Those who have read it too, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like week 8 really resonated with me a little bit. So I've been having this like constant sense of affirmation just going on and just being really positive. You know, the one, two, the rundown. And so I just feel like I feel really good, you know? And also, I hope that goes for you guys as well. I hope you guys are doing just as well as I am mentally, emotionally, and physically, spiritually, you know what I mean? Making sure that you guys are catering to all those parts in your life and inside you, and just healing is not linear, so a baby step is still a step. So I hope you guys are all thriving and feel loved. This episode is not something that's talked about a lot. I would say it's something that's mentioned here or there, or some of us may be self-conscious about it, but I want to break the ice and talk about it. You know what I mean? Let's talk about money, y'all. Let's talk about that money. Let's talk about the times we in right now. You know what I'm saying? The pros and cons that comes with money. Learning certain things and facts when it comes about money, the mindset behind poverty, finances, God. We're going to talk and tap into all of that. That's going to be a cute little 1-2. This is going to be a very short, cute episode, and it's just going to really break all these down in a sense of maybe changing your mindset or alter it in a more of a positive way, or just kind of just putting my opinion on it as well, and what's made me come far when it comes to money and where I was raised and how I was raised and stuff like that, and how I manage money better to this day. And the mindset behind it, that money is unlimited. Sometimes we have a habit of putting in our mindset, or putting inside of our mind, that money doesn't come to us naturally. It doesn't come to us quickly. If when it doesn't come to us at a certain time, we believe that you don't make enough money. You know what I mean? We get in this mindset that money is limited, that there's only a certain amount of money that you can make, which is, it limits you. And I used to struggle with that a lot too. I'm going to be so real with you guys. I struggle with it heavily, but I had to remember and kind of learn and just train my mind into realizing that money is unlimited. Once you put yourself in a mindset of realizing that money comes to you naturally and it flows to you, and you get into that affirmation of repeating that to yourself every single day, it's going to be such a natural thing for you, where it's going to feel like, oh damn, like money is flowing to me at the right time, because I'm not so caught up thinking about it. I'm not thinking that there's only a certain amount of money out there, and when I don't receive that, it's that I'm not capable or I'm not worthy of receiving this money. No, 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 no. No, no, no. We need to alter that mindset. You know what I mean? And that's something I had to learn, because I grew up with struggle. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to embrace that, because I'm grateful to be where I am today. And, I'm breaking generation curses, I guess you can say. And I had to learn that I was putting myself in such a poverty mindset. Do you guys feel that you guys are ever in survival mode when it comes to like finances? Trust me, like if any nigga is gonna tell you this, it's definitely gonna be me because I was the exact same person. I put myself in this mindset that I had to, I'm not gonna have time to cater to myself, or I can't do what I want to do for myself. I only need to do what I need to do, like pay bills and school and all this stuff, jobs, and making sure I'm paying everything. And like I can't reward myself 24/7 on what I want because I'm just so caught up in being in this survival mode. You know what I mean? And we have a huge habit of doing that subconsciously, unintentionally. We do it so much, and we feel like we're not worthy of spoiling ourselves here and there. We feel like we need to be so focused on saving and making sure that you're making this amount of money, and you can only spend a couple $2-3 on yourself and stuff like that without feeling the guilt of you spending something that you genuinely want. But the truth in the matter of that is that is only going to set you back farther from receiving the money that you truly deserve, if I'm being so honest with you. And when I say it like that, I'm gonna walk you through it. You know what I mean? I feel like you're putting yourself in a space of thinking that you're not worthy of receiving that money, right? We talked about that. And I feel like with that, you're so caught on to every single penny and dollar that you get that you're afraid that once you spend it, you're not going to receive that back. But already putting yourself in that mindset sets you up for failure because you thinking you're not worthy of that. You know what I mean? And yes, I'm not going to sit here and say buy the next Bottega. You know what I mean? You're trying to get the next like Marc Jacob heels that's like 10 bands. I'm not going to tell you to be a dumb bitch to do that. Now, if you in our position and you can do that and you can pop your one and not feel no guilt, you already passed this part of growth, then girl, I'm going to cheer you on. Thank you. Do your one. But for the ones who really struggle with spoiling themselves or feeling like they deserve it because they're so caught up on trying to make sure they're, above, above head, above float, whatever the fuck the saying is. They don't feel like they're worthy of getting that. And that's something I had to learn. I was in this mindset. I was like, I don't need to spend money on clothes. But it's like, girl, you talking because you're thinking that you're spending it on something that's not really necessity. And y'all know I put that shit on. So it's like, yeah, like I had to realize that, of course, like, don't spend irresponsibly. Don't go into the nearest Louis Vuitton store and buy you a handbag for the shoes that you're only going to wear twice in a year. You know what I mean? Like, let's be a little mindful about doing stuff like that. So yes, if I feel like I need more jeans because I've been wearing the same jeans for 6 weeks consistently, I'm going to be like, you know what? Period. I deserve jeans, not only because I worked hard for it and I deserve to spoil myself, feeding your inner child, but at the same time, it's also a need as well because you need clothes. Like, you need clothes. You're going to get older. You're going to get bigger. You're going to get smaller. You know what I mean? And with that, you kind of have no choice. And that goes for things outside of just, needs as well, because you might think that you wanting clothes is just a want, but it's a need as well. But if we're tackling things that can really solely be seen as a want, let's say you wanted to buy a PlayStation. Okay, but I got bills. Okay. So that doesn't mean you can't buy it, but it means you're not in a position just yet to be able to buy it. Period. You move forward with trying to get to that position where you feel comfortable with doing that, knowing it's going to come to you because you're saving, you're being intentional. Okay, I know at the end of the day, I'm making what I need to make it happen. I'm not rushing it. Da da da. I know I'm in a position to be able to get it. It's just not right now. Some of us get so caught up on thinking that just because we're in the right now, that means that's our forever. Right now is not your forever. And that's something I'm still working on to this day. You know what I mean? But I want to make sure I'm putting that out to other people and also, telling you guys so it holds me accountable as well to stick to my word, because I'm going to be very big on that when it comes to this podcast. Is not only am I doing the healing for, if I'm helping somebody heal that's listening to this podcast now, but helping myself as well to hold myself accountable and listen to what I'm saying. That's why I kind of touched the topic in the last video of talking about video entries, to really get in touch with talking and communicating and understanding what you're talking about and being able to be very precise and, breaking out your words carefully. That's what's helped me when it came to this podcast. But we got to learn how to not be in a poverty mindset. That's very important. Very, very important. And it's going to truly save your life. And just realizing and setting the affirmation for yourself that money flows to me naturally. and you have nothing to worry about. Once you put worry out there, then that's where you stress out. There is a saying that I used to always kind of repeat to myself. I probably should start repeating it to myself now. Just hold that volume still. But I used to always say overthinking is. Ooh, I forgot what I said. Don't overthink your current situation. Just know you're in a situation right now. God, this is not your end story. This is just a chapter in your book, and you're finna go to the next chapter. Embrace the pages, embrace the words, and move forward. Do not look back. Do not just move forward. That's my biggest thing with it. And realizing that your finances don't define you. That is very important. Your finances don't define your character. It doesn't define you being broke or rich, whatever. They don't define you as a person at all. If you're around materialistic people, they are not your people. They are not friends. I don't think there's anybody I feel like I could personally be friends with who is materialistic, because we get so caught up in this perspective or this ideology that, like, oh yeah, I need to look rich, or when I don't have this amount of money, I look broke. You know what I mean? And I feel like that mindset is so gross. I kind of always compare like adulthood to like being a kid. you know, when we're kids, that none of that matters. You know what I mean? We're not thinking about how much our light bill is about to be. We're worrying about when's the next show on Disney Channel going to come on. I feel like trying to find joy in the now, regardless if it's a hardship or not, finding and recognizing that there is a lesson within everything that we're learning, even if we don't understand it in that moment. Allow it to bring you grace or bring you ease, knowing that this is for a reason and I'm learning from it. As long as I don't marinate on it, I can grow as a person and move forward, knowing that this is not my forever. Just really just putting inside your mind 24/7 that your now is not forever. And obviously, you still need to do the groundwork. Trees don't grow without water. And I feel like with that, you got to also recognize that you're not in this position forever, but don't sit in this position forever. Does that make sense? You're not going to be in this position, but you need to move in order for you to get to the position where you want to be, where you're going to be. I'm very big on a lot of the things that we want really bad in life. We want it so bad because we already have it. I know wholeheartedly I'm going to be a backup dancer. That's my passion. That's my love. It brings me joy and peace. And I feel like with that, makes me feel good about myself, knowing that that's going to be me in the next couple of years. Next year, next 2 years, I don't know. You never know. But I know it's in my near future. And with that comes ease. And I give myself grace, and I'm, lighter on myself with recognizing all that as a whole, all in all, that they don't define me as a character. It doesn't define my talent. Finances don't make me any less or more talented than I already am. And finances don't make me less or more happy. Now, does it make things easier? Yes, 100%. This is a very touchy, kind of controversial topic too, on if money, defines happiness, or if, the whole saying. And as some that I've talked to before about this, if you disagree, I'm curious to know your opinion on it. But I don't believe money defines happiness. It makes life easier. It helps with no struggle. It helps you, being in better positions and fight a little bit harder and stuff like that, or not have to fight as hard to get where you need to be if you wanted to be in a certain financial spot. But it doesn't make me happy. It doesn't bring me love. Um, it doesn't bring me self-awareness. It doesn't bring nothing that actually benefits me as a person, as the individual, not just financially or what I want to do with my life. Because obviously, my path is my path. Because, like I said, I already have it. But with that, I know within that path, I'm going to be put in a position to be able to afford my dream. That's going to come. God did not put us on this earth to worry or stress about money, you guys. I hate to tell y'all. I hate to be the person to tell y'all. God did not put us on this earth to sit here and stress about money this, money that. Now, are you valid in how you feel? 100%. You're talking to me. I have my stories, you know, but you move forward. You learn about yourself, and you embrace the now. You embrace the present. You embrace what you can do. You do what you can. and you move forward. Don't move backwards. Don't sit, don't mellow in your negative thoughts. Make sure you're making the attention to get yourself to a place where you're financially great, but you still have your morals within being a good person and being happy and experiencing and expressing love. These are all things you can't get within money. Those things define you as a person, not money, you know? Um just always remember that and just staying very true to that, honestly, you know what I mean? Um and that's one of the things I feel like God invented or, brought us on the earth to really understand is just love ourselves and love who we are and be present and, express ourselves and express love and happiness and peace. Um, and to be able to recognize that it builds this trust with God that He will never fail you. You are exactly where you need to be, where He wants you to be. And know that, like I've been saying this whole episode, I hope it's stamped on your head right now that God will never fail you and that everything's working out in your favor. You're good. You're straight. You know, He did not put us on this earth to struggle, He put us on this earth to learn and experience. And I feel like I've learned to replace struggle with lessons and seen them as morally lessons and morally a struggle. Of course, we have our hardships. I have my hardships 100%, but that don't make them struggles. Hardships can be in the form of positivity and negativity, you know? And I feel like I'm slowly but surely learning that I'm not my hardships and I'm not my struggle. And I'm simply learning lessons. So while I'm teaching myself that, I want to teach you guys that as well. This season is simply learning lessons and growing as individuals, nothing more, nothing less. And that should bring you ease. It brings me ease. It brings me peace. And recognizing that and recognize that regardless if I'm not at a place where I would prefer to be, God put me in a place where I need to be. And work with what I have until I'm worthy of more. That is very, very important. Very, very important. And recognize that and learn that and use that as your pivot on you growing and you exploring and just doing more with yourself. Because money always flows. Always remember money always flows to you, but you got to believe that money flows to you for it to flow to you. Very, 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 very important. If you don't believe you're worthy of receiving and getting money, you're simply not going to receive it. But me personally, I don't know about y'all. I know I deserve it. I know I'm worthy of it. All of us are. So believe it, embrace it, recognize it, know it, and no, you don't gotta ask for worthiness of it. Just you're worthy. I am worthy of receiving money naturally to me. I have nothing to stress in this life because I'm gonna always be okay. And I want you guys to learn that. And I want you guys to make sure y'all process that and learn that you are not your struggles. Um, and everything always going to work out in your favor, but you got to believe it as well. You don't believe it, it ain't going to happen. You need to believe it. This was a cute little episode, and y'all know how to keep it real with you guys. Y'all know how I get down, but I did want to touch this a little bit. Very chill, very calm vibes for the day. I hope it was relaxing if you're walking to it or getting dressed in the morning while listening to this. If you're, regardless when the time is, eating a sandwich. Thank you. But I hope you guys learned something from this. I know with me talking more and more, I'm learning more and more. About things and how to process things just as well as I hope you guys are too. And I guess this wraps up this episode for Siah Be Chattin podcast. We are almost at the end of the season. Isn't that crazy? Season 2 is going to be funny. I'm so excited for season 2. But thank you guys so much for listening to me. And like I always say, you are loved, you are seen. If nobody has told you that they're proud of you. I'm proud of you for who you are becoming. You deserve happiness. And you deserve love and peace. We all do, in these times. So I love you guys. Again, thank you for watching today's podcast, and I will see you guys next episode. Love you.